Who doesn't love Super Mario 64? While it may not have as much of an impact on gamers playing it nowadays, there's no denying that it was important in moving the gaming industry forward. But did you know that Nintendo tried making a sequel to Super Mario 64? Not only once, but several times? And each and every one of them were cancelled? Well, now you do. So my job's done for the day. Bye everybody! Wait, there's more to talk about? Ugh. Welcome to the Gaming Gallery. I'm your host for today, The James Rolls, and we will be discussing Super Mario 64 2. Now, before we get started, it's worth mentioning that no gameplay footage or screenshots were ever shown to the public, so because of this, we'll just be using footage of Super Mario 64 from Later Gator to Use channel. In the script it says without his permission, but he's the one who edits these videos. I don't understand why he put it in the script. Super Mario 64 2 began development shortly after the release of the original, with a targeted release in 1999. The game was in development for the Nintendo 64 disk drive, and was planned to use the console's ability to store more information. Other features of the disk drive had been rumored, such as an internal clock, but nothing was officially confirmed by Nintendo. The biggest feature about Super Mario 64 2 would have been cooperative multiplayer, something that Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto wanted to include in the original. Luigi would have appeared as a playable character. In an interview in December 1997, Miyamoto was quoted as saying, "We're in the middle of preparing Mario 64 2 for release on the 64DD. I'd like to take advantage of the 64DD's ability to store information. As of now, Luigi's also a full part of the game, but we haven't started thinking about two-player gameplay with Mario and Luigi yet. We'll tackle that once we get the system ironed out. We've figured out the processing power issues, so we could do it if we tried. How many Luigi fans do you suppose are there?" When the editing department replied, "Quite a lot," Miyamoto then said, "If Luigi's really that popular, maybe I'll make a green box for Mario 64 too." In addition, Yoshi was also slated to appear, serving as Mario and Luigi's companion, which would have given him a much bigger role compared to his cameo in Super Mario 64 after defeating the final Bowser fight with all 120 Power Stars. Also at one point, 4-player multiplayer was discussed, but as Miyamoto told Nintendo Power Magazine in 1998, having 4 small screens would be a problem, as they would have to had completely rework how the camera in the game functioned. As mentioned before, the game was planned to release in 1999, but obviously that didn't happen. In November of the same year, Miyamoto hinted that Super Mario 64 2 could end up on a completely new console. Well, for over a year now at my desk, a prototype program of Mario and Luigi has been running on my monitor. We've been thinking about the game, and it may be something that could work on a completely new game system. So, what happened? Well, it seemed like the project was cancelled due to lack of progress. Only one playable demo was ever finished, but that was never shown to the public. It can also be safely believed that the Nintendo 64 disk drive's commercial failure also caused the cancellation of the project. Something that's very well worth mentioning is that during Nintendo's Shoshinkai show in 1996, which would later be renamed Space World, a demo for Super Mario 64 disc version was used to promote the 64DD. And in 2014, this prototype was discovered by French N64 collector G.A.M.E 130. Super Mario 64 disc version is mostly identical to its cartridge counterpart. Notable differences include an updated castle theme, a more simplistic looking title screen, and that Tiny Huge Island would crash the game occasionally, especially if trying to fight Wiggler. What does this have to do with Super Mario 64 2? Probably nothing, but it's nice to know that some form of Mario 64 goodness is still playable on the 64DD. Even though Super Mario 64 2 was cancelled, several ideas that would have been in the game or had been discussed at one point for the project did not go to waste. A rideable Yoshi in 3D would appear later in Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Nintendo Wii, and the concept of 4-player multiplayer would be the focus of the Wii U's Super Mario 3D World. And who knows, maybe the latest Mario adventure for Nintendo Switch, Super Mario Odyssey, was also influenced by Super Mario 64 2. However, Nintendo wouldn't exactly give up on making a Super Mario 64 sequel, because during Space World 2000, we got our first glimpse at Super Mario 128. Wait, wasn't that cancelled too? Well, that's all for now. Maybe someday we'll find out the fate of Super Mario 128. Thanks for watching this episode of the Gaming Gallery. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing, and ring the notification bell cause it works sometimes, I guess. And also don't forget to check out my Let's Play of Super Mario 64, plus some of the DS Remake content, which is linked on screen right now.